Still no release date, but at least we got 46 seconds of new gameplay from AEW Fight Forever. I was expecting more, but I'll take what we can get. What's up, guys? Dynasty back at it again with another AEW Fight Forever update because, of course, you probably do know by now, this weekend was IGN Fan Fest. It was kind of hyped for like 3 weeks that we didn't want to miss Fan Fest because we'd see some new AEW updates. You know, they said, mark your calendars. They really hyped it up. I was thinking maybe we'd see a release date reveal finally, given how much quote-unquote hype was given to this event. But sadly, we got like a 12-minute live stream. And out of the 12 minutes, we got like 45 seconds of gameplay between Hangman, Adam Page, and Bryan Danielson. You know, initially I was underwhelmed. I didn't want to make this video yesterday because I wanted to wait and see if today, Saturday, because it was a 2-day event, if they'd give us maybe some more, but they didn't, which is a bummer. It truly was just 45 seconds of gameplay with no release dates. It is what it is. However, since this kind of went down, we saw AEW star Kenny Omega, who's also like the head of this game, sit down on Swerve Strickland's podcast, and he talked about not only the whole ESRB rating situation, but also the release date, and said some pretty encouraging words for people like me and you watching these videos, looking for anything in regards to the game. It seems like more stuff is planned to be dropping soon, more updates, more gameplay. Kenny understands the frustration that the fans have because, you know, AEW Wait Forever is kind of a meme at this point, but at the same time, not really, because we've been waiting for this game for damn near 3 years. So shout out to Swerve Strickland. Fightful did cover the, I guess you can say, things of note, but I strongly suggest going and listening to the whole podcast. It's actually really enjoyable, but I'm going to be highlighting just everything from this podcast in regards to what Kenny had to say about AEW Fight Forever. He mentions how like the game before the ESRB situation, the game was essentially like a murder scene in terms of like how much blood you could have on the mat, which is insane, which is probably why the game was struggling to get a T rating. Talks about the mini games and stuff like that. So again, I'll have the full interview linked down below, but I'm going to just talk about everything highlighted from Fightful.com. I'll have that also down below for you as well. So with that said, drop a like if you are enjoying the gameplay we're seeing, at least between Hangman and Bryan Danielson. I think that's pretty cool. And with that said, well, let's get into it. First things first, Kenny came out and said, well, it's totally coming out. I'm not sure how much we had to scale it back, but man, I loved it. You can make the ring look like a murder scene if you wanted to. I just hope there's still some way to get a semblance of that. I hope we don't dumb it down too much. It was fun. It's what we get every week on TV anyway. It could get gory, but no one's getting dismembered, no one's dying. Maybe it could look that way if you beat someone up that bad. There are a lot of things we haven't shown in the game yet. What I will say is, the game is not a wrestling simulator. I looked at other wrestling simulator games, and I know people love them, and there's absolutely a place for them. But I feel like if we go the simulation route, no one is ever going to do it better than Fire Pro Wrestling because they've had decades of practice doing that, and they have all the systems already implemented. What Yuke's does best is the arcade style of wrestling. What our guys do best is the animation, the guys from Aki. Having those guys cook up animations and correct old animations from WWF No Mercy, and kind of seminar the Yuke's people into how they could go about doing their stuff rather than motion capture, but taking the point of articulation to show the generation of movement or philosophy of force. It's kind of an ongoing process. So if you were thinking they were doing real mocap, they're not. They're just reworking stuff from years ago, kind of sort of from the ground up, which I think is kind of cool because we've been asking for a Aki-style, No Mercy, WWF 2000 game for damn near 20 years. So Kenny continued by saying, it does suck that the rating has held us back a little bit because we really wanted to get it out. The longer the time goes by, this finished product that we have of a game is just going to continue to get a little dated. A lot of the same people are going to be there and are there, but some aren't. And you're going to wonder why I've seen this guy on TV for weeks, but why isn't he in the game? It's because the game's been done, but we've had to try to get our game into position to be rated so that we can sell it. Now I can positively say that we're headed back in the right direction. The fun and zany stuff that I was able to implement, I hope people have fun with it. I think the game really shines when you can do crazy stuff. But if you want to have a serious bare bones wrestling match, you can definitely wrestle the way you want, and it will look that way. But if you want to do crazy stuff and want to ride around a skateboard and do a drop kick, you can do it too. There is fun stuff like that implemented. Boom! Confirmation. Skateboard drop kicks. Also worth noting that seeing Kenny talk about how the roster might already be dated is insane, but I guess that just makes it for a better game, because if they just add DLC to add the new wrestlers they've signed, plus we have the likes of Cody and Punk, hey, that's actually kind of cool. It just makes the roster more well-rounded. You could do like 2019 AEW versus 2023 AEW. I'm not concerned about the roster because DLC is a thing. And if it took this long to make one game, best believe they're not going to be making AEW games annually, so probably best to have everybody in one big game for the ultimate roster. So as much as people are going to complain about missing a few characters, hey, ultimately at the end of the day, when everything's said and done, this might be a good thing. Kenny went on to say every kind of unique weapon has to have its own unique set of physics, and that's a challenge. If you have a chair, great. But that doesn't mean the chair reacts the same way as a ladder does. You have to go back to the drawing board to program how it is that you interact with the ladder, how you can interact with a table. Things are on fire maybe, wet floor sign or garbage can. There are different things you can do with all these items, getting those all glitch-free or as glitch-free as possible. I know fans are going to have a heyday trying to find funny stuff as they can, and I know they're going to find it. Everyone finds glitches in everything. It'll be whatever. I'll laugh. I would expect very soon start to see some new information in video about AEW Fight Forever. So, updates dropping soon. They're trying to get the game as smooth and perfected as possible, not glitchy, not buggy. I could definitely see how having like thumbtacks and all these other zany random things in a game like this, especially when it's being reworked from the ground up, can be glitchy. But I mean, that's essentially any and every game ever made. Bugs are part of the course. So it is what it is. AEW Fight Forever, still no release date. Kenny thankfully gave us something to work with because, again, we've not heard anything from anybody in God knows how long. Evil Uno is like the spokesperson, and I feel like he's getting destroyed on Twitter because Uno is like the guy for the game, and I've not seen much come from him lately. So there you go. Everything should hopefully start picking up soon. Again, everything is pointing to a Q2 release date from all accounts. April, they'll start promoting it, marketing it. Double or Nothing's in May. Maybe it drops May, middle of May, end of May. Hell, maybe we're all wrong and it drops next month. I would not expect that, but that's what it's looking like, of course. What do you guys think of all of this? What do you think of what Kenny had to say? What do you think of the new gameplay teaser that we saw with Bryan Danielson and Hangman Adam Page? Love you guys. Thank you for watching these AEW Fight Forever updates. Of course, if anything worthwhile or worth noting about AEW is mentioned anywhere, I'll have it here on the channel. Till next time, been your host, Mid Dynasty. I love you guys. Take care. Stay safe. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Stepping on it crack, but I'm not superstitious. Count all these